What's happening, people? Christ, I am disciple here. I hope so. If you like this channel, like I said, you can like, share, subscribe, donate via Western Union or MoneyGram. We're going to talk a little bit about the I Stand with Ray Fisher campaign, as well as we're going to talk also about Zack Snyder's Justice League and several other things like James Gunn and his statements that he made, also his prior history. All right, so we're going to talk about all of that. First of all, let me give thanks to the Most High God who makes a lot of things possible these days. You know what I mean? A lot of things possible, man. It's crazy. A lot of things possible for all of us, you know what I mean? And I'm grateful to be here alive with you guys. Even though times are kind of tricky, there's a tricky situation going on out here. I just want to say, though, that God's been good to me and to all of us, you know what I mean? So that's the first point, and that's the first and most important thing. I'm moving around a little bit. I'm doing a couple of things. I was sitting down chilling, but gotta get up and do a couple of things. So you guys are gonna have to excuse me, but let's start with Justice League. I stand with Ray Fisher. You know, I was listening to different people, and they were saying, you know, Ray Fisher's not going about this the right way. I heard some guy named Loudmouth that my friend Leroy Khan referred me to, saying how, you know, Ray Fisher don't know what he's doing, trying to defend, you know, the people at Warner Brothers Pictures. Make Ray out to be the guy who ain't got nothing, he's just crazy. Well, Jason Momoa came out and made a statement and crushed that into the dust. Okay, he crushed it into the dust. Okay, his statement spoke about how ridiculous the circumstances were surrounding what happened with Justice League and with the staff, with the people accompanying. And this is just direct consequence. This is just direct fall through with the actions of the people who had power and abused it. Okay, this would not be an issue, and Justice League would not have been an issue if it weren't for people who abuse their authority and abuse their power. Okay, that's just straight talk. They abuse their power and they abuse their authority. Okay, it's amazing how this light is still bouncing off the surfaces and somehow still hitting us. That's freaking crazy, man. See, I got cracked on my glass. If I cover this, the light doesn't reflect off the crack, and I don't have any problems. See, when I cover the crack like this. But if I let the light hit the crack, it just really messes with my whole entire screen, which is irrelevant, but nonetheless. So I'm talking to you guys about this fallout with Justice League. What happened was, the situation is this. Yeah, the situation is this, okay? Let me put my face there. You see, the light's gonna try and screw up everything. It's so crazy because it's just light reflecting off of this this part of the surface of the camera. When I block it, it's okay. And I can't protect it. I can't protect the surface of the camera from. That's so crazy. I can't protect the camera from the lighting. It's really crazy what's going on. But anyway, let me just talk to you guys about this while I'm working. So what happened was that Jason Momoa made a statement showing it wasn't just Ray Fisher, and he wasn't the crazy one. There's a lot of other people who are involved who got the abuse from these people. Namely, Jeff Johns, Joss Whedon, and John Byrne created that environment. And as we all know, Walter Hamada was trying to protect Jeff Johns. And then we're coming to find out that Warner Brothers was trying to offer Jason Momoa, or at least creating the media, the idea that Jason Momoa was going to get, hooked up with Frosty the Snowman. He's also working on Dune and some other stuff, right? And come to find out that was supposed to be a deflection. And the same thing with Ben Affleck, Warner Brothers saying that Ben Affleck will be on The Flash. He's going to come back on The Flash, and that Cyborg will be on The Flash. It's trying to bribe the actors into silence because they actually have an issue, they have a case. And it's not just Ray, it's the actors, it's the staff, and Ray's just kind of acting on behalf of all of them. And Jason Momoa is starting to speak out. Now, you might find Gal speaking out right now because Gal was also working with Patty Jenkins on Wonder Woman. And Gal was always talking about she wanted the Snyder Cut to be released. But Patty always was saying, nah, we don't want the Snyder Cut released. But if I'm thinking about it, Patty was working with Jeff Johns. And if you look at Warner Brothers right now, they was trying to work in the direction. Remember I talked about Warner Brothers and we were threatening Warner Brothers and all that as fans? And look, Warner Brothers, thanks to the Time Warner Media, which is AT&T's acquisition, is giving us, the fans, the real thing. And under Time Warner Media right now, we're getting this equalization. Ray's emboldened, and a lot of people are emboldened since the Snyder Cut to speak out. And Ray is very carefully speaking out about what happened in Justice League. And this is important for a lot of things. Because what happened to Batman v Superman, this thing repeated itself 3 times. Again, the executives tried to meddle with Zack Snyder's work. And of course, Jeff Johns, not being a part of Man of Steel, he started getting, if you look, Jeff Johns got more and more play in the whole process. Now Jeff Johns ain't got nothing. He's just working with his independent company, but that's not the way how this story is going to end. Everything's going to play out to its absolute completion. If you guys haven't seen John, I think it's Arisen Garza's accounts of Justice League, check him out. You can check him out on my Twitter. Also on my Twitter, I retweeted his video. He's on YouTube. John Arisen Garza, I think is his name. If I'm mispronouncing your name, John, let me know if this video ever gets to you. But suffice it to say this. They interfered with Zack Snyder's vision for Batman v Superman, which was supposed to be 3 hours and 20 something, or almost 30 something minutes long, right? And because of that, Batman v Superman was already being attacked. And apparently Jeff Johns was the guy cutting it down on the inside, while on the outside, we had the Marvel fans aggressively attacking it and the people in the media attacking it, okay? And if you do remember, Zack was the first guy to put out Batman v Superman. And if you don't know, Marvel was going to do Captain America. What was it called? Captain America, like secretive. It's an S word as well, but I can't remember. Like undercover or secretive, right? It's supposed to be that. That was what it was supposed to be. It would have been Captain America 3. Coming after the Winter Soldier. I forgot what the name of it is. I was looking at it on Twitter today. And they changed up everything and called it Civil War. And they changed up their whole game plan. Because Jeff Johns, I'm going to say it right here on film. Jeff Johns had leaked the Batman v Superman plans to Kevin Feige. All right, that's what really went down. And we know that for a fact almost. Jeff Johns was the mole inside of DC. And that's just some other moles inside of DC. And one of them is James Gunn. And he came out and he actually admitted that Kevin Feige was on set with him for Suicide Squad. And he's not the only guy. The other guy who got a scoop on DC and what their plans were was the man who messed up Justice League, Josh Whedon. He knows exactly what's going on there now in DC. They showed him all the projects and everything that they were doing. In short, what I'm saying is Zack Snyder's vision was sabotaged by Jeff Johns and also by the small foresight of Warner Bros. Warner Bros. Knew their media was going to be sold over to AT&T, so they pushed the Justice League movie forward. Didn't care when Zack Snyder was coming off of the film. Allowed Joss Whedon's script and so on. Joss Whedon was brought on by Jeff Johns. Was starting to take effect. And by the time Zack left anyway, even though he had modified the script a number of times because the execs of Warner Brothers were listening to Jeff Johns and not him, even though Zack Snyder's films have grossed him more money than anything that Jeff Johns has gotten his grimy hands on. Anything that had Zack Snyder's name attached to it did much better than anything Jeff Johns has had his name attached to. Wonder Woman 84 is going to be something that Jeff Johns got his hands on again, and we'll see how well that does. And I just want to say, even though I knew it was a spoof that we saw for promoting Wonder Woman 84, I'm kind of glad it didn't come out. It was an old, supposed to be promotional kind of trailer thing. And it just looked terrible, to be honest with you. I mean, I understand it's supposed to be kind of like an over dramatization of, Wonder Woman being on TV and the world seeing her powers and stuff. And it's an ad for something to make you feel comfortable. But I mean, it was so ridiculous. Like, the guy didn't even, she kicked him, but didn't really touch him. And I know it's supposed to be over dramatization. It's kind of like an 80s spoof thing. That just looked bad, though. It looked bad, and it's a good thing Patty Jenkins didn't put that out. I was what I say. Patty Jenkins. Patty Jenkins, I like you a lot. I actually like Patty Jenkins. She has a positive, optimistic kind of tone. Wonder Woman came right through. I know Jeff Johns was involved in that as well, and he fucked up some of the action sequences. The action sequences with Zack and Zack's people worked with, for the most part, kind of worked well. Even though I could tell Jeff Johns' hand was in some parts of it. But Patty fought for her movie and what she wanted to see. I am very fond of Patty Jenkins. I'm not going to say no. I'm very fond of her. She's very good at emerging genuine emotion from things. And she's got herself, like everybody else. James Wan ended up in a hornet's nest. Patty ended up in a hornet's nest. Zack ended up in a hornet's nest. David Ayer ended up in a hornet's nest with this Warner Brothers thing because of this war between Jeff Johns. He just waged a war against Zack Snyder because he's jealous of him. And he thinks he doesn't get DC characters. Patty, you got yourself wrapped up in something you don't understand really what was really going on. I heard you were saying, oh, they know Snyder cut when Gal kept on talking, and you picked sides because you was working with Jeff, but you don't understand, Patty. So I'm gonna break it down to you. And I know you're a genuine person because when I saw how you was mad at Joss Whedon for what he did to Wonder Woman in the Justice League, I knew from there on in that you like to give the characters respect that it does do. And if you only know, your real ally is Zack Snyder in this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? And Jeff Johns, he got his ideas and stuff, but he was trying to sabotage Zack. Now we all know this, okay? You don't know that. You didn't know that. You just came into the scene. You don't really know what was up. All right, so I'm gonna give you a pass. Even when you say some dumb ass shit, and now you jump in inside him with Zack Snyder, I'm gonna give you a pass because you're a hell of a director. Ain't no doubt about that. I'm gonna give Patty Jenkins a pass because I really do want to see Wonder Woman 84, even though Jeff Johns got his hand in the storytelling. And I'm gonna tell you why. We know we're gonna get Zack Snyder's Justice League. And once Jeff Johns keep his grimy hands off of Zack's vision, I'm cool. I'm cool with other directors' vision. I'm cool with Matt Reeves' vision. I understand the circumstances under which Matt Reeves came into the equation. James Gunn as a director, I'm kind of cool with him too. Even though I know he came from Marvel like Patty Jenkins. They came across from Marvel, okay? But you gotta understand something. As strange as this may sound, James Gunn is a fan of Zack Snyder. And James Gunn is trying to calm the waters. He's trying to get peace between DC and Marvel. I see what he's trying to do. Okay? I understand what he's trying to do. He got a questionable past, though. Now, in the TV world, there are people who work with Marvel and they work with DC. In fact, in the whole movie industry, whether it's concept artists or whatever they are, there are people who work with both DC, Marvel, and other companies. Okay, so it's not like I talked about this a long time ago. It's not like they can pick sides and blah 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 blah. You never know. Zach might even do a Marvel movie. You never know. That's the business. But here's my thing. Okay, here's my thing. Everybody was bashing Zach. Everybody was bashing Zach for Batman v Superman and for Man of Steel. Now people coming back and praising Man of Steel. It was a great movie and whatever. People still trying to bash Batman v Superman way beyond its time. Way beyond its time. Well, everybody knows Watchmen was way beyond its time. Here's my thing. And this is my point. What has been transpiring since Man of Steel, which Christopher Nolan was the guy that brought on Zack Snyder. Everybody respects Christopher Nolan, but all of a sudden they don't respect Zack Snyder. But anyway, since that time, Geoff Johns been undermining Zack. I didn't believe it until now. I believe what all that you guys are saying. You guys proved me wrong with Justice League. You guys proved me wrong with Geoff Johns. I used to defend Geoff Johns. But then, after Warner Brothers Pictures released that extra bonus footage of Superman, I believed you guys from then on in. I realized my ways were wrong. And I've been wrong a number of times. I thought Zack's complete vision was done and everything, but then again, now it was supposed to be 3 hours and 30 something minutes of footage, and he probably finished most of that footage. But now it's additional hour on top of that. So we're looking at like 4 straight hours of footage. We could actually get possibly Justice League Part 1 extended so that when we got to do Justice League Part 2, which I'm looking forward to, and I'm just saying, we already know Zack Snyder's Justice League is going to be a success on HBO, huge success on HBO. Let me tell you why. Because this movie's different to all the other movies out there. This movie was requested on demand by the fans. It's a totally different story. You see, the fans requested this movie. We don't care what the naysayers had to say. We want this movie. You got to understand the difference between fan requested movie and just a movie that came out and everybody was excited about it. So it doesn't matter what the naysayers say. The fans are going to fuel and carry this movie, and this movie is going to make history. It already has made history in existing, but it's now going to make history in being the highest subscription-based movie on HBO Max. Not only that, but whatever version it comes in worldwide, it was going to be the highest viewed, consumed movie of all time. Of all time, when all is said and done. That's how bad this movie's going to be. Because y'all don't understand. This movie has real situations around it. This movie has become bigger than just a movie. It's become a movement. And we have to take that power of this movement that is happening right now, this special moment in time, and translate it into every other area of our lives. This wasn't just a win for a movie. This was a win for suicide prevention. This was a win for how to approach and be positive and effect change in the world. It's a lesson. Justice League has just become real. And what we're seeing by Ray Fisher, and now followed by what's his name? Jason Momoa, and agreed on by a number of other parties who are agreeing. Every day somebody else is agreeing and standing with Ray Fisher, who has been part and parcel of the staff or involvement with Justice League, the reshoots. And not only that, but we're also seeing people outside of Warner Brothers, in the sphere of Warner Brothers, who have influence in movie making, esteemed people joining in, knowing and building credibility on this, because these people, you see, we are in an interesting time. We're in an interesting time. I was looking into James Gunn's past and pedophilia particularly. Now, James Gunn, he was an edgy guy, and he make these sexual jokes and he's edgy, but something tells me there's truth to some of what he says. There's truth to some of his jokes. I'm not saying people are perfect, but I'm just saying it looks shady as hell. And it's amazing how in this political climate, certain people could do no wrong. Only now I've heard that that guy who was just terrible in Hollywood, the white dude, Weinstein, I heard he's now in prison. He's now going to jail for his woes. This man been playing, playing the fool for the longest while. You know what I'm saying? And again, I understand there are different times and all of this stuff, and things used to happen at different times. I'm not saying that I don't have skeletons in my closet either, whichever way you want to look at it. But my point is this, though, and my point stands. There is favoritism. There is a covering up and protecting of certain people when they do wrong. Right, so we're back. Sorry about that. Yeah, so, this is how this thing goes on sometimes, you know what I mean? Put this over this way. Where corrupt people can get away with things. And it shouldn't be that way, right? But it's politics. And accountability has to start somewhere. And I applaud again Ray Fisher for what he's doing. I applaud what Jason Momoa is doing. Can't buy these people out, and that's what they silence of certain people. And Jason Momoa was not for that. Ray Fisher's not for that. They standing up, and I'm glad. And there's a lot of other people who depending on them to just break the ice. You understand? So they gonna break the ice, and then everybody else gonna fall in line and do what they do. By Jeff Johns, Joss Whedon, and John Berg. And apparently higher heads up like Tommy Emmerich and so on. Tommy Emmerich lied about things, My thing is this. Like I said before, I'm not going to go in on Patty Jenkins. Okay? I'm not even going to go in on Matt Reeves. I know the circumstances under which Matt Reeves got the Batman, but this is what I'm telling you. They gonna have to watch their ass, Matt Reeves and Patty Jenkins. Because we're gonna be watching them like hawks. No disrespect to Patty Jenkins, but we watching you. You know what I'm saying? With respect to the real man who's supposed to be doing the Batman script, which is Ben Affleck. We know Jeff Johns got Ben Affleck out of doing the Batman script, and he got replaced with Matt Reeves. Again, the doing of Jeff Johns. All right. So, at the end of the day, we need to completely scourge, clear the air. See, natural process has to happen. Jeff Johns got to get removed completely out the equation, where he cannot do any damage, because he's still trying from his limited spot. He's trying to use his arm and his reach to still keep the universe how he wants it to happen, because he feels he has a command of the characters, and he's just I don't want to cuss, but he is just a comic book writer. Stick to writing your comic books. Nobody ever sees what's his name? The man who wrote The Dark Knight Returns. Okay. It'll come to my mind. You know what I'm saying? The man who wrote The Dark Knight Returns. You know who I'm talking about. We don't see him telling people how to do movies. You know, he applauded Ben Affleck, the only Batman he's ever applauded for doing Batman. Because Ben wasn't necessarily playing Bruce Wayne. He wasn't necessarily playing Batman. He could identify directly with Batman and that particular Batman at the time. And it was executed to perfection. You know, Robert Pattinson is a great actor and all of that. And I know he's gonna knock it out the park. And Matt Reeves is gonna do a good job. We already know Patty and Gal Gadot, they're a great combination. You know, so we're not knocking them. But my thing is this. Circumstances under which they came into the equation. You know, the second Wonder Woman being done by Geoff Johns, he got his grimy hands on that. And then he bringing in Matt Reeves into the equation instead of Ben Affleck doing the Batman, sabotaging Ben Affleck's Batman. No good can come from that, man. Why do you think Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman is not coming out so far? Why it can't even birth itself? Why? Because of the corruption of Geoff Johns in the equation. He's tainted it. He tainted it. And Patty wants Wonder Woman to come out. But maybe she needs to hold on for a minute. Let things kind of, you know, settle down first. Even if it's her vision. And I personally will support her so far. Unless she says something that out of line. And I'll still support Matt Reeves. I'm not really, to be honest with you, I'm not as excited for Wonder Woman 84 as I'm excited for the Snyder Cut, but I'm excited some. And I'm curious about the Batman movie. You know what I'm saying? I was a defender of Matt Reeves. I know he makes good movies. But I'm be straight with you guys. You know, the circumstances under which Matt Reeves did his movie and the circumstances under which Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman and Gal Gadot, you know, had to perform, you know, the kind of things they do to Gal, man, you know, that's what hurts. That's what hurts. You know. But I'm hoping and praying for the best, you know, and that, you know, they would do Gal and Wonder Woman justice. You know what I'm saying? I'm open and receptive to still seeing what Wonder Woman has to offer. A lot of people are trying to talk down Wonder Woman, the second one. We don't need Wonder Woman to fail. We don't need it to fail. You know? And I hope it's successful. As for Matt Reeves' Batman, we wanted to succeed. We don't want it to fail. Matt Reeves is a hell of a director. You know what I'm saying? And we know this is going to be kind of hardcore. I mean, I'll be honest with Matt Reeves, you know, just because you punch a guy much more times than the original Batman in BVS, don't make him tough. You know what I mean? It doesn't make him, you know, great. That doesn't make a great Batman. But I like that he's really edgy and he's really violent at times. You know, and even call himself saying, "I am vengeance." But you can't have him, you know what I'm saying? You can't have him force it. You know what I mean? So, but I'm sure Matt Reeves, when he gets to really put it all together, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Because Matt Reeves, again, hell of a director. Okay? Planet of the Apes trilogy, he's a hell of a director. So I expect it to be good work. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying also is, you know, that we owe it to Ben Affleck to let's see his vision on the screen. His Batman, his passion. I want to see it. I want to see what Ben Affleck's Batman looks like on the screen. I want to see Joe Manganiello on the screen. I want to see Batman and Deadshot on the screen. Hashtag Batfleck forever. See, you gotta understand. There's a reason we nicknamed him Batfleck, man. Man did the greatest Batman I've ever seen on the screen. You know. And Frank Miller, that's the man I'm talking about. Frank Miller knows what I'm talking about. Kevin Conroy knows what I'm talking about. Kevin Conroy was so inspired by it, he did a kind of TV version of that kind of Batman. He liked that spin, and he went on TV with his own face and did that version of Batman. He was so inspired by the Batman. The Batman could go the wrong path. Why not? Why can't our heroes sometimes fail us? Why can't our heroes sometimes themselves be conflicted? And Jeff Johns had a problem with deconstructing heroes. That's sometimes necessary because people go through shit. And sometimes when your hero's going through shit, you can identify with your hero a lot more. Because your hero's going through shit too. Even Jesus went through some shit. So if Jesus could go through some shit, and it was a bright and sunny day when he came down here, he got crucified for it. Then why is it a problem to have a hero who's supposed to be the symbol of hope go through that chasm, go through that baptism, and suffer and die and be misunderstood and be used? Why? Why is that suddenly a problem for Jeff Johns? Why is it you got to push the CIA agenda, Jeff Johns, in Hollywood? And brainwash people with lies? Shout out to Larry Kong. Yeah, Larry, thank you for the great lives. Thank you very much. I gotta say it like it is. We all grown people up in here. I'm 45 years old. I'm no spring chicken. Shout out to Leroy again. What's up, Leroy? Leroy in the building. Leroy Kong, one of my subscribers. I'm just saying. I'm saying that. And you could continue to comment, Leroy. Anything you want to say it, man. But at the end of the day, Warner Brothers Pictures have lied to us consecutive time after time after time. And this time Jason Momoa called them out on their lies. He let them know it's a different time. It's a different season. You know what I'm saying? Jason Momoa put it down. Not only does Warner Brothers Media is looking at what Warner Brothers Pictures is doing, and that they're not producing like they claim they had the vision to produce, and so some people got fired. But now Warner Brothers Media is watching everything transpire now. Because Warner Brothers Pictures trying to play games. AT&T ain't in it. AT&T's not in this to lose any money. And if the fans aren't being pleased, AT&T will chop heads off of blocks. Leroy Kong says, I hope they resolve this Ray Fisher thing as soon as possible. Oh, it's going to play its course. It's going to play its course. But clearly, Ray Fisher, it's not just Ray Fisher. As Jason Momoa said, we, meaning not just Ray Fisher, but Jason Momoa, Kieran Clemens, the staff behind the scenes, and I will not be surprised, Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, okay? The man who played Batman's Alfred, the guy who played Alfred, Joe Manganiello, the man who played Silas Stone, the woman who played the mother of Victor Stone, the man who played Darkseid, Ray Porter. Okay, we all know Junkie XL was chopped from the block. All of this was from executive decisions by Jeff Johns, John Berg, and Joss Whedon. Okay, everybody wanted to collect a paycheck because Warner Brothers was being sold to AT&T. Okay, so we all know all the players. The guy who's supposed to be in a Flash movie, Flashpoint, which is supposed to restart the universe. Oh please, oh no. That doesn't just happen like that. Oh no, that my boy, what's his name? I forgot his name. Who plays the Flash? Who plays Barry Allen? That's what's up. So Ray Fisher is only speaking on behalf of a bunch of people. And it's documented. All of it is documented. Ezra Miller, thank you very much. Jeremy Irons, Joe Morton. Oh man. The man who played Steppenwolf, what's his name? What's his name that played Steppenwolf? Oh, you think it's just Ray Fisher? No. He just happened to be the spokesperson for on behalf of all these people. Let me tell you something. And that's what Jeff Johns is still trying to reach into the pocket of Warner Brothers and reboot the universe. He's trying so very hard. Ciarán Hinds, yeah. That's why I said to you guys, this thing has to run its course. This is necessary. And it's not to get the Zack Snyder verse either. It's sad because, see, Jeff Johns, let me just say this. It's sad because Jeff Johns was pushing for something that was going to happen anyway. It was going to happen anyway. We was going to have different tones. It was going to be a universe that's director led. Whatever the directors want to do, they would have done. Okay? Jeff Johns is the one that fucked up the whole thing. The man who did Dope, the director for Dope, he was supposed to be the director of Flash. We're going to let it go. Whoever the director is right now, cool. Whatever he want to do, he can do. My point, and studios do what they do. But my thing is this: Jeff Johns is the one who is constantly undermining what was supposed to happen. He was butthurt when he was left out of Man of Steel. They didn't consult him a lot. They just consulted him on things like, what he's supposed to be there for. He's a comic book consultant, right? They made him director of DC Films, which they should never have done because Jeff Johns was never good at dealing with movie making. He was good. This is what Jeff Johns is good at. Jeff Johns is good at writing comics. Okay? Now, Leroy, you a DC fan, so you tune into the television stuff and so on. I don't care about that stuff. To be honest with you, the stuff that I see on TV is corny as shit. To me, it's cheesy as... I don't want to cuss, okay? To me, it's cheesy shit, okay? I'm a big-ass grown man. Smallville was good and appealing to me because at the time I was a teenager. Was I a teenager? I don't know if I was a teenager or not. But what I say is it had all these new things that came forward that blew my mind. And I was interested in it. That's why Smallville... And then it wasn't a take like a Superman take. It wasn't that shit. Right? So it really got me. The song Somebody Save Me. It was at the time, it was contemporary to our times. You know what I'm saying? And then it had all these shocking things about it, all these new characters coming in and shocking him. It wasn't as cheesy as the shit that's today, in my opinion. Okay? So I'm not really into the TV thing, the CW, the Arrowverse, and all that shit. I'm not really into that. And then DC Universe Online, what was I into? You know what I was into? Sci-fi, Krypton. Until uh the end of season one, I think it was, where Zod said, "And kneel before Zod." I was like, that was corny ass shit. That was a lot of stuff was corny in there, but it still had a good storyline and stuff. And then it just got super duper corny, and I was like, all right, whatever. I haven't watched the Krypton since then. You know, and David Goyer was the guy behind it, but man, Jeff Johns had his fingerprints all over Krypton. You know what I'm saying? Then they had DC Universe Online with Bella, whatever the guy's name is. Them two guys who again did the CW, and because they put F bombs in there, you know, and they had a little bit of graphic violence, they thought that that would get people roped in. It didn't rope me in because the fight scenes were kind of, yeah, but you know, but it was like corny as fuck again. Okay, well, they was using the F bomb, but see, they don't understand what Zack Snyder be doing in his movies. Zack Snyder this is one of the greatest ironies of the situation. Everybody talks about Zack Snyder likes, you know, what they call it, you know, violence porn. No, Zack Snyder is not that. Zack Snyder actually despises violence. It's one of the craziest ironies of the situation. Leroy Cohn says, I hope it gets resolved before the Snyder Cut. It's not going to get resolved before the Snyder Cut. Snyder Cut's coming out regardless. AT&T, it don't matter what law, what court case goes on, it doesn't have nothing to do with it. But this has to happen. It has to take place. Snyder Cut's going to come out anyway. That has nothing to do with the Snyder Cut. It's a separate case. Whether these guys get jobs after will depend on how the case goes, but definitely the Snyder Cut is coming out. Because that's on a totally different media. It's HBO Max, which is Warner Media, but it's not Warner Brothers Pictures that's primarily responsible for that. That's Warner Brothers and AT&T. It's a separate platform. Just giving Zach all the leeway in the world to do what he wants. Leroy Khan says there's a big war over this right now. People siding with Ray and people against Ray. So sad. It don't matter. I'm with Ray. Okay? And whoever wants to be against Ray, that's their opinion, you know, but it's only an opinion. Okay, Ray got his receipts, and not just Ray. That's what he got to understand. You got to be against Ray Porter. You got to be against Junkie XL. You got to be against Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa. You got to be against a lot of people. Karen Hines, all the people I just listed. Now, the people who are for Jeff Johns, I'm sorry, man, because the truth's about to come out one bomb at a time. And y'all going to realize Jeff Johns is not as good a guy as y'all thought he was. All right? We already getting bombs on James Gunn. It's disturbing when we find out about James Gunn. But again, I don't particularly have anything against James Gunn. And neither does David Ayer. They're very supportive of each other. James Gunn is working with different people. And I'm not saying people are perfect, but it's just disturbing when I what I see and I read about James Gunn, though. Okay? Particularly when it has to do with young girls. Okay? But having said all that, I just want to say that I don't really particularly have anything against James Gunn at this point in time. He's trying to defend Jeff Johns. I understand that. But I'm not defending Jeff Johns. I know James Gunn's trying to bring unity between Marvel and DC. At least that's what he claims. He's not doing a very good job of it right now. But I don't really particularly have anything against him or Patty Jenkins. They're newcomers to the scene. They would have been influenced by Jeff Johns. You know, Jeff Johns with the massages to get them in there. You know, so I understand. Okay? My hope is that they prosper and they do well, because I want to see DC do well. I don't particularly have anything against them. Or I hope there's not some covering up of things for them. Patty Jenkins is a hell of a director. Even Matt Reeves. I don't really have anything against Matt Reeves. But here's my thing. There's room in the multiverse for Matt Reeves, Patty Jenkins, and James Gunn. Okay? I ain't too. I'm not gonna be honest with you. I wasn't too happy to hear that James Gunn was doing Suicide Squad 2. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, I'm trying to reboot it or whatever. Yeah, man. Leroy Count says Crisis was dope. The multiverse will work. Again, Zack Snyder is my number one director. Yeah, my thing is this: that Ben Affleck need to get his own his movie or a series or whatever they're doing, so we could see his vision come to the screen, right? Rick Fumokawa, whatever his name was, who was doing the Flash. I'm not gonna say nothing about him, but man, you know, the guy who did Dope might have been the guy to do the job with the Flash. But it's all good, it's all good. He got out of it, and he's doing. He did something with. I think he's doing something with Marvel right now. It's cool. It's cool. You know. My thing is this, though. My thing is this, and I'll make it abundantly clear. My thing is this. I'm not saying studios are perfect or anything like that, but I'm saying this: they're accountable, and that's what Ray Fisher's doing, and that's why he's getting support from Jason Momoa. Kirstie Clemens came out, a director, very successful director of movies, a black director, also came out, and a lot of other people are going to come out from the woodwork and are going to support what Ray has because they know what went down. And Jason Momoa made a very strong statement to Warner Brothers Pictures to let them know and get them full notice that y'all gonna be accountable for what happened. And this is not a shakedown. This is real. Anything happens to Ray, anything whatsoever happens to Ray, Warner Brothers is gonna be in deep doo doo. Okay, if they touch him the wrong way, because the fans are unforgiving. Okay, they messed up the first time. In good faith, AT&T forced them the hand, obviously, to bring out the Snyder Cut, which we are very grateful for. I am very grateful, and I feel that I've been very thankful that they did that. So I'm open to seeing all their movies. I looked at the Harley Quinn, pieces of the Harley Quinn movie at least. And what can I say about that? It's all right. It's all right. You know what I mean? It's all right. It's not great. There's a lot of sort of anti-male sentiment in that movie, but um, it's. I mean, there are times when the males are just the men in the movie are terrible, but why aren't there women in the movie that are terrible as well? It's just my thing. And then some of the action sequences are cringy. I'm gonna be honest with you. Some of the action sequences are just cringy. And they cussing and stuff, and it's good, cool, and it's a bit graphic, and that's good too. I love that. But it's like freaking CW and Marvel all over again when they started buddy up. You know what I mean? It's real. They just sitting at a table talking, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so cringy. You know what I mean? So, there's this cringe moments. Like, y'all don't understand. I'm not into this buddy, sit at a table talking kind of crap. It's cringy. You know what I'm saying? And it's so not realistic, but it's okay. Shazam, I saw pieces of Shazam with the evil spirits or some kind of shit like that. And again, cringy. Just cringy. Like, if you like the CW, then you want to enjoy it. If you like movies, then you're gonna be like, this ain't really a movie right now. This is a sitcom I'm watching. This is some bullshit. They selling me a sitcom for fucking movies. You know what I'm saying? And so my standard's totally different. Like, I watch a movie, I want to see something that's real. But yeah, you can be fantastical, but you gotta have a point, something real about it. And shit, man, Leroy Cohn, you more into, I don't know, you just more accepting of things than the DC. Me, I can't, man. Aquaman, I can't, man. Some of the action sequences in Aquaman was great, but like, oh my god, some of the stuff I haven't watched Aquaman. I think I watched it through once. That's it. I have not even watched True Shazam all the way through. I couldn't. I couldn't watch, the Harley Quinn movie all the way through. Now, Joker was a good movie. Actually had some humor in it too. It was a good movie. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, I guess it's my taste in movies or something. But Wonder Woman was a good movie too. I mean, the final act was kind of cringy, but you know, uh, you know, I mean, Junkie XL will deliver in the music. Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. It's Junkie, man. Look, man, I'm a Snyder man. You know what I mean? I like Zack Snyder stuff anyway. So you don't have to sell it. You're talking to the choir here when it comes to that stuff. You know what I mean? You're not selling anything to me. I already know I'm going to get it. Aquaman was dope. Nah, no, it wasn't. It was cringy when he started kissing Mira in the middle of battle. I'm like, the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Some cringe moments, man. There's a lot of cringe moments in that movie, and I don't think Jason Wan's vision fully came to that screen. I still truly believe James Wan didn't get exactly what he wanted to do on the screen. I think he was tampered with. That movie. We all know the account of how Jeff Johns forced Black Manta into the movie. You know, that was not supposed to even be in the storyline. Was supposed James Wan was dealing with Aquaman versus his brother. So that was really the crux of the movie. But yeah, man, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. It did give us the great rooftop scene. So, I mean, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? So, uh, that's all I got to say for now. We're going close on to an hour. It was nice having you guys here for me to discuss this. I'm gonna talk more about it. I'm gonna also put out some little clips on Snyder Cut and also on Ray Fisher's, um, response. Uh, Thank you, Leroy, man. Thank you, brother. Listen, do check out my two songs on the Snyder Cut. I got two songs on the Snyder Cut, and if you can, it'd be nice for you to share those songs with other people online. And just the crux of what's going on right now in DC. As to all things DC, you guys enjoy yourselves. I hope you enjoy DC fandom. Um, and listen, man, do you don't have to agree with everything I'm saying, but I'm just breaking it down for those people who don't understand. This thing is long overdue. The process that's happening has to happen the way it's happening. And that's the only way going forward. Like true accountability by the studios to not just the directors, but also everybody, that respect and that unity and that conformity that needs to happen will happen. So this has to happen. What's happening with Ray Fisher right now has to happen if Warner Brothers has come out of this better. And the multiverse is a good way to go about doing things. I don't know about restarting the universe, but then AT&T is pretty smart. They will understand. They can have a universe running on HBO. They could have the TV universe that runs for those people who like the TV stuff, and they could have the stuff in theaters. The problem with it is theaters not getting opened up like how they is because this COVID-19 pandemic. I call it a pandemic now. Is really messing up normal activities and normal things that people do, and it really shouldn't. Right? We really shouldn't have all of this going on, but it's all good. Um, God is good, and we just got to watch God for His direction and His guidance and the whole thing. But I'm really happy about the fact that we as fans could see this Snyder Cut and Snyder Universe. I see a lot of unrest in the world, and it's so good that we could have seen something happen because we as fans pushed for it, and we stay positive about it. So I would say to everybody, in much as you may be wise to serve, try to be harmless as a dove, and let's keep on pushing for positive things to happen. Let's push for Ben Affleck to get his movie, hopefully through HBO Max, not with no like bribery by WB Pictures, but through legitimate ways and legitimate means. As with seeing Cyborg, I really do want to see Ray Fisher's Cyborg movie, and right, Cyborg is one of the most interesting figures. So I can't wait for his story to come out through the Snyder Cut. Make sure that Jeff Johns is not, messing with nothing that has to do with Zack Snyder. That his hands are completely off, and he stays far the hell away from anything that's happening with the Snyder Cut, so we can get Zack's pure vision. And in the meantime, the only way to bridle and mute this dude is to deal with him just the way how Ray Fisher is dealing with him, and how all the other people are supporting his when he was director of Warner Brothers Films and Warner Brothers Media. So hopefully this whole thing gets resolved the appropriate way to appropriate measures. Warner Brothers Pictures was trying to do the investigation. They're not supposed to be doing no damn nothing. Again, some independent investigator. And if they don't, the independent investigator doesn't do it, no problem. Because guess what? Ray Fisher, and they got the transcripts, and they're gonna go forward regardless of whether they want to play games or not. So I don't think they should mess with Ray, and I don't think they should mess with all the people around Ray. But if this is what it takes to move forward, again, not involving Patty Jenkins, not involving Matt Reeves, or not involving James Gunn. They have nothing to do with this, as far as I know. James Gunn is siding with Jeff Johns. I don't think he should do that, but that's on him. Okay. I don't blame Patty. I don't blame James Gunn. I don't blame Matt Reeves. The guy who brought him on board was Jeff Johns. So I understand their allegiance to him. But they got to understand the way how he conducts business and how he does things, and his spite towards Zack Snyder is what's going to bring the problems. So they need to just zip it if they lip it if they think that they don't understand the situation fully, because they definitely don't understand the situation fully. Matt Reeves, nor Patty Jenkins, nor James Gunn understand the situation fully. When they do understand the situation fully, they should just shut the hell up at this point in time and let it play out. Okay, don't pick sides. This is not nothing to do with you. Yeah, Jeff John brought you on board, but you just need to shut the fuck up. You see, this one thing Joss Whedon did, he hasn't said shit because he was put into a shitty situation. So he just shut the fuck up and got out of there. And he knows what the hell he did too. So if I was him, I wasn't gonna say nothing either. So he's smart enough to understand that. And Patty Jenkins just need to push for his Wonder Woman movie and just watch where the dust settles on this. Okay, because it's gonna be instructive to her and anybody else who maybe moves up the ranks and makes it to the top of DC. Do not take advantage of people with your power. And Patty should know that better than anybody else. And whatever your ideology is, do not let that overshadow due process. Always try to be fear. And that's all I'm going to say to these guys who ended up getting things that they probably shouldn't have gotten. Matt Reeves got a chance at the Batman because Jeff Johns got rid of Ben Affleck. Okay, Patty Jenkins, on the other hand, was the perfect director for Wonder Woman and proved it and got her vision out there, and she fought for it. So I'm happy for her with that. With respect to James Gunn, again, James Gunn ends up with Suicide Squad after David Ayer took a shot at it and he was sabotaged. So, they kind of in tricky situations. If I was James Gunn, I'll just shut up, don't say no more about nothing, work on the movie, get out of Warner Brothers as quick as I can, and get working on Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Okay, and don't say nothing. Just don't say nothing. Just finish. Yeah, you got brought in by Jeff Johns, maybe, or not. Whatever process it was that you came through, you are a very good director, and I want only good things for Patty Jenkins because she embraced what Zach was bringing to the table. She worked with it, and then she worked also with Jeff Johns, and they came up with something, and it was special. And so That collaboration worked. Um, but right now, she got to be careful how she tread. That's all I'm gonna say. Patty Jenkins got to be careful what she say and what she do. This is not a time to try and back or sabotage people because it'll come back to bite you in your ass, and you will be exposed. So don't just move smart. Don't say nothing. Zip that lip and just get your movie out. May it do well. We wish the best. Same thing for Matt Reeves. So Matt Reeves, I'm focused on my movie and getting that shit out. That's all. You know. Don't get involved in politics. Don't get involved in saying nothing one way or the other. Just get your movie done and get out of there. James Gunn was a smart guy. He understood that, and he got his movie done, and he got out of there. I don't know. Jason Momoa was, it's claimed that he'll get Aquaman sequel. If James Wan's working with him, then great. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully we get something, better off the table and off the plate. But we'll see. We'll see how it all works out in the end. You know what I mean? So that's all I got to say for now. I know a lot of people are under NDAs and that kind of stuff. So I'm not gonna say no more about nothing. But all I'm gonna say is let this thing play out the way it should. When it's finished playing out and the dust is settled, it could take a little while, but once the dust is settled on how this thing plays out, Warner Brothers Media will be obviously much better off for it. The fans will be much better off for it because we'll have more options and selections. What you like, you might get this time around. And also, more importantly, the ethics and the morality going forward should be ironed out. If not through legal means, definitely through social media, social means. So that's all I got to say for now. What you need? No, I'm not what you need. What you need is the other channel. I'm Christ I Am Disciple. I hope you guys have a good one. But remember, Christianity is not something that you talk. It's something that you do. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.